Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GBYWN Australia podcast. It is good to be back with you. I am the man, the myth, the legend, the former 11-time heavyweight champion. Most of those title reigns were because I booked them, Aston Crude. And once again here today, I'm here with part 2 of my interview with Phoenix.
I'm just another dude, I'm just some guy. He actually just pulled me off the side of the road. Like,
former AWL heavyweight champion and every other belt in the Federation.
That's right, thank you.
And, don't think there was any other title reigns, but that's okay because you had the AWL title.
I had a few shots. I had a few title shots in various feds.
Well, there you go, At least you got a shot. A lot of people never got a shot.
No.
But for part 2
I ended up taking that shot all over my face, though. Ultimately jobbed for their satisfaction. It was great.
Well, this part here, we're going to be talking a bit about XCW, a little bit about
more
XPW.
like sexy W.
Yep, and a bit of NSWA-e.
It was pretty penis oriented, from what I recall. There wasn't too many women about. In
No, definitely not. So XCW forms. I don't know how you first hear about it, but we were just talking about it off microphone, and I believe it was because we got in touch with Acid Rain. He'd come to a show and he needed someone to bring someone to wrestle at one of our
someone
events.
to make him look good.
Did you remember him? Anything like that, saying to you, "There's this other federation. Do you want to come there and blow their minds?"
I'm going to give you the best response that you'd hate to hear. Vaguely, I recall. No, I remember him inviting me, and obviously, because I do remember going with him and doing our little performance.
Yeah.
A little hardcore match. Or street fight, was it? And,
I quit match.
I quit match. And what was the stipulation again? What was that? That was part of a big...
Carnival of Carnage.
Carnival
so every
of Carnage
match had a stipulation announced just before the match by the on-screen commissioner, Oliver Duget.
Yeah. It was the original Royal Roulette. The original.
Exactly. We did it before there was Royal Roulette. There were a lot of things that we came up with that, by coincidence, happened in WWE.
Ahead of your time.
Yeah. So your debut show, Carnival of Carnage, I Quit match. First of all, do you have any memories of that day? A new setting, not NAW, not AWL, it's XCW.
XCW. I got hit in the head a lot of times that day.
You got belted around so much,
from 3 times of that stick thing until it broke over my head. And I know it's not the size that counts, it's how he used it. And he hit me hard with that. That's the thing.
He did.
Stung.
He slapped that thing over your head, and I couldn't believe it. But
ouch!
I remember. You might remember Nick Ariel doing the moonsault off the roof.
I do. He's one of the standout guys. I actually do recall from when I first came, like seeing some of the stuff, and he was just like a little grasshopper at that point.
Yeah, he was.
But he was hopping.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah, he was crazy.
Holy
shit!
He
wrestled 2 matches that day.
Holy shit! Yeah, so I was impressed, and like I said, coming from AWL and then seeing some more high-ranking stuff in NAW, definitely saw that match in XCW, and Nick Ariel stands out. Who else do I recall besides me and Acid Rain just destroying each other?
I don't know if you remember Scorcher. Scorcher wrestled in a handicap match against me and Diffuser. Diffuser had the mask.
Yeah, and he was in a wheelbarrow. Someone put him in a wheelbarrow. Yeah, I remember.
So you got to put your opponent in a wheelbarrow for 5 seconds to eliminate them.
So he lost that because I remember
won.
he was. So he wasn't.
He hit an impaler on Diffuser into the wheelbarrow.
And class.
Yeah,
true style. I got to watch those videos again. See, I wouldn't even remember half the stuff that I've been through because
Yeah.
But luckily, we got some footage of that.
Check it out afterwards.
Yeah, it was a hectic match. Really.
So the time comes during the show, the I Quit match with you and Acid Rain. We had never seen a hardcore match like this before. There was a guy in our federation called O Factor, who was Oliver Duget, who was also the on-screen commissioner. He was known as being our most hardcore guy, and I think even he said, shit, like, this is above and beyond what I've done. And I remember watching the footage, you see the guys, they all sat on the brick wall out the back.
Yeah, near the fence.
Just watching. And then when you guys were wrestling, everyone stood up and moved closer. Yeah. It was the first time that had ever happened. Like, everyone wanted to... This is fucking crazy. We can't believe what these two are doing to each other.
Falling on ladders and tables.
Like, he had his head, like, on the ladder, and you did a leg drop to the other side, and it seesawed and knocked him in the head.
Suplexed me, and well, you thought I was going to suplex him on the ladder, when no one did, because he's obviously too big for that.
This fucking brutal bump onto the ladder.
Didn't even hurt. I was surprised at that. I was expecting,
it looked like that should
back-breaking
have
pain.
destroyed your back, you know? But that match, as far as I was concerned, really set the bar really high for XCW, and we were like, people were scared to wrestle
That's
you
a
guys.
similar feel now when I see this video of
WZWA.
Thank you. WZ. So many Z's and W's and A's, and there's so many initials in my head. WZWA, and I'm like, wow. I see where the bar is set and what you guys have done, which has surpassed some of what I've done. So that's, I can relate to that feeling.
Yeah, well,
and funny enough, now the tables have turned, and I'm relating to it with you guys.
Exactly, yeah.
That's alright.
Yeah, we were blown away, dude. Do you have any fond memories of that match?
Just the whole match. I think you hear it all the time with wrestlers talking about how they were just really, they had that chemistry and they were just in the flow, in the zone, and they were just onto it, and it was just going perfect.
Because I remember seeing you guys practice before the match, and you powerbombed him.
Yeah, I actually powerbombed him in a separate event, and I accidentally dropped him on his head, and he went unconscious for a bit. You can see it in the video. Pretty brutal. Well, he was a big dude, though.
We were. How strong is this kid? He can powerbomb Acid Rain.
Yeah. You should see. Well, if you think that's surprising, you just wait for what I got in store for 3 Dog.
Oh gosh.
You just wait.
But yeah, great match, dude.
Yeah, it was fun, and despite all the hardcore stuff, I don't think either of us got seriously hurt, or even hurt really at all. Except for maybe when I stomped on Acid Rain's balls. I think I was running for a drop kick, and I was too afraid to land back first and do it properly, so I just put all my weight on my feet.
Straight to his balls.
Straight to his ball sack. I don't think that brought us closer. But no, it was good. We were both happy with it.
So what were your first impressions of XCW? Did you see that it was different to other federations?
I saw spark. I saw everyone, definitely a lot more laughter, a lot more fun than in any fed I'd been in before.
Okay.
Definitely not more than my fed. Definitely, more than NAW. I mean, that was still fun, and there was a lot of laughter there still. But like I said, I think there was a bit more ego in that. And with XCW, I just remember there was a bunch of light-hearted kids, and we were all kids at that point, like 14, 15 or whatever. Just getting together and having a good time, and it was a good balance, I think, between talent and people actually taking it seriously enough to perform at a high level and take risks and push the envelope. But it wasn't so far up its own arse that, it came out stinking like shit. Yeah. It was fresh, it was fun to be part of. Awesome. Even if it was just for one show or whatnot.
Yep.
Good memory.
I believe you didn't make the next one.
No, I can't recall why.
I don't know.
I think I just fell out the scene after.
There was. I don't really know what the problem was. I think it's just a communication problem. We didn't really talk to you that much on the internet. We spoke to Acid a little bit, but
I think I just detached after Bayer has just did what he did with my missus, and I left NAW. I think I just left the whole scene and didn't contact any of them from NAW. So I didn't contact Acid Rain, and he was probably the main link.
But you did come back.
I did.
Back a couple of times.
I did.
I believe you only wrestled 2 more matches. The next match was we had a one show break. You weren't there. Yeah. But the following show was a show called Anarchy Assault, and you had one more opportunity at a contract if you could beat the on-screen commissioner, which was
Ollie, 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 Ollie.
And I remember all of us coming up to me pretty shook up and worried about how this match was going to go, because I really need to prove myself. I really need to prove that I can keep up with him, and I'm just as hardcore as him.
Well, Ollie was like that.
Yeah, and I was like, you'll be fine. Just talk to him, man. He's a normal guy.
Well, he sold that ladder shot well. Everyone was convinced when he started pissing out with blood.
Yeah, but he actually just bladed,
bladed.
Yeah, but he wanted to prove that he could hang in there with you, because he was the first person to put his hand up and say, I'll wrestle him.
I think he did, besides me, I don't know if it was me or him or both of us, just failing. Remember the attempted X Factor from the trampoline. I think he jumped like a whole full second before, and then I'm just like, well, it was a second ago. He's already landed, but fuck it, I'm just going to jump and complete the second portion of the move. And just jumped and face planted, ghost fucking X Factor. But besides that, I think it was a good match. He held his own.
Yeah, and I think afterward he was proud of himself that he went through it, because after seeing the first match that you're in, we were very hesitant to wrestle you.
Put one of your guys in.
Yeah.
He took that ladder shot pretty bloody well. I watched back. I've seen the video you've got from behind the trampoline, watching
Yeah.
from the rear. I've got it
there's a
watching
different-
from the front, close up.
Amazing! I can't wait to watch it,
Dude, it's brutal. You'd think this thing hits him. It's full pelt.
It will blow my mind to see old XCW
Oh.
footage from a different angle because we always had just one camera. So
That was
to see it
hardcore.
from another angle, I can't fucking wait.
Mm.
Were you mainly into hardcore wrestling? Or was that just our perception because of your first and second match?
I think well, to be honest, I think yes. If you judge action, like, I think now in theory, I'd like to work on the technical stuff more and showing what I can do outside of just being hardcore and using weapons and creative and fucked up ways. But looking at the actual history of the matches I've had, it's all been hardcore. Even NSWA-e, which we'll get to, but every hardcore permeated all my matches, I think.
Gotcha. Wow.
So yeah, it's definitely
I
a
think,
niche, and it calls to me.
Yeah. In that video that I made hyping up your debut in WZWA, literally you were too extreme for XCW. Even though we were called Extreme Championship Wrestling.
Too extreme for extreme.
We were just like, no one really wanted to wrestle you because they were scared. And it's like, I didn't think about the fact we could put you in a regular singles match. It didn't have to always be hardcore. I think just the perception that we had made us believe that this is the only style that you would want to do. So,
and that's it. I think if you put the boots down, I will fill them and act accordingly. And if it's hardcore boots, damn well I will fill them.
Yeah.
But with that said, I did have a lot of technical matches, like the technical championship.
Yeah.
I didn't just give myself the belt in AWO just because I felt I'm the owner, I can do that. I felt like I had to deserve it. So
yeah.
But generally, I don't know. Hardcore is just more fun. It's louder.
Yeah.
Gets more oohs and ahs.
Yeah. And you certainly got a few oohs and ahs in XCW. I just want to segue into the last match you had. Actually, sorry, I forgot to mention. Homicide joined forces with you at the end of your match with Oliver. He was going to be your manager / security / tag team partner. What did you think of the idea of teaming with Homicide at the time? As I guess you didn't really know him that well at the time, but it was just kind of placed upon you.
This is Mr. L-U-K-E-I-E we're talking about.
Luke Mason.
Mr. Luke Mason, yeah. To be honest, was I being teamed with him?
Yeah, we put you with him because he had kind of left XCW, but then he was coming back, so his story was kind of like he was angry at the way that he was treated by management.
Yeah.
And you were angry about the fact that you lost the contract match because when you said I quit, it was a figure
I remember
of speech.
something around the end of the match, him coming in.
He came
and
out, he
involved.
attacked Oliver, he choke slammed him.
Yeah.
Then you got the pin. But yeah, I don't know if you remember too much, the idea of teaming with this guy that you didn't know very well.
Well, you just brought that flood of that memory of him coming choke slamming the pin, so yeah, I can't say I remember enough. I wouldn't want to feign any excitement that's not there in memories, because
yeah,
too much pot, my friend, too much pot.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs, okay?
Well, that's alright, you can't remember everything.
Can't remember it. Well, even I blame it on the pot, but I've always had a shocking memory. It's not just the chair shots.
So your last XCW match.
It would have been good to be a team with him. He was a cool dude. I think with our size differences, it would have been interesting.
Yeah.
I can say that.
I can't quite remember what event it was that you had your final match at with XCW. It might have been a Warzone. It probably was. It was probably the Warzone after Christmas Chaos. You and Homicide teamed up in a handicap match against Acid Rain. So I just wanted to segue into your memories of your old friend Acid Rain, the guy that we can't get into contact with. You tag team with Homicide against Acid Rain in a handicap. You won't remember that one.
I won't? Yeah, because I don't have a video of it, do I?
Yeah, I have it somewhere.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Was there any insane spots in that? Or?
Not really. This was at John's house with the trampoline that was in the ground with the ropes.
Are you sure this is me? I don't remember
It
ropes
was,
in a trampoline.
Because you did a flip from inside the trampoline over the ropes to the outside onto...
Wow, so I've actually wrestled in a thing with ropes before. Because I've always wanted to do that.
It was just the trampoline in the ground.
Oh, still, there was ropes.
I'm positive, yeah.
Yeah, oh my god.
I wouldn't expect you to remember that one because that was just a really small thing. It only lasted about 7 or 8 minutes or something like that.
Who won?
You guys did because Homicide went for the pin. You pushed him off so you could get the pin. And I remember specifically.
And then me
you
and
went,
Homicide.
Yay! Because you won. You went, yay! And I was like, is he taking the piss? Is he taking the piss?
And then Homicide and I had our little feud following that.
No, you were supposed to have a feud, but you didn't return to XCW.
We had a match, though.
No. That was at Blades Federation XPW.
Yes.
Which we haven't got to yet, but we will get to.
Yeah.
So I just want you to tell me.
Well, I'd really like to see that video.
I'll show you tonight.
It's like amnesia. Like when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, really?
No, I'll show you tonight. I've got all the footage on my hard drive. But I want to know your memory specifically of Acid Rain, your friend from back in the day, the guy that we can't seem to get in contact with anymore, I guess what you feel maybe he meant to the career of James O'Mac / Ace Silver.
I'd definitely say he was...
I'm just going to have a piss, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Definitely a major component and catalyst for my confidence and capabilities. In terms of, having somebody to work with and kind of find your strengths and weaknesses with. And, I don't know, Acid Rain or Scotty was always one of those really honest, sincere, didn't really have too much of an ego, kind of guy. So I found working with him was really easy. I've worked with people in other feds later on after that, and too much ego, and it doesn't matter which way you try to cut it or hammer it or gently maneuver things to work. It was an uphill march against, a pile of dead horses.
Yeah.
Which is just no point in beating. So with Scotty, it was good. We had good chemistry, and he'd listen to me and work with me and vice versa. We respected each other. Had some really good matches, I think, which elevated our self-awareness as well as our other people's awareness. Mm-hmm. I think we were good for each other.
Yeah.
For that time.
So do you have any other memories in particular about XCW?
XCW? I remember the blue guy mask in a wheelbarrow super hardcore match because there's a video. And to be honest, there's only a snippet of video with the blue guy mask being in the wheelbarrow, so I remember that. A lot of that stuff, if it hasn't been recorded, that's why I film everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm very much in the moment, totally absorbed, but when it's behind me...
I am too, dude. I love watching myself wrestle.
Yeah.
But I hate watching myself do stand-up comedy, and I hate hearing myself sing. But wrestling, I will watch myself all the time.
Sure, you're hilarious.
I am funny, but I can't I hate watching myself do that stuff, but...
Yeah, it's a bit different though with
wrestling.
It's a bit different with humor. At least with wrestling, it's like, oh, I remember the pain of that. That's still epic. Yeah. Where with joking around and comedy, it's like, yeah, I remember that was painful, and it doesn't make me feel good.
Okay, so this is the one thing I did want to bring up.
But I did remember the heart. That's the shorthand answer. Like I said, I get impressions that stay with me, and I just remember you guys were really into it, and you had this electric feel to the shows, whereas NAW was...
We always had a great atmosphere.
Yeah, it was fun. And I wish I could have been part of it. Not longer than I had.
There's something that I want to talk about, which is your exit from XCW. I don't think you remember this. I think I might have told you on Facebook a while back of what happened. But
yeah, even that conversation, which is not too long ago, I don't recall anything right now from.
Okay, well, basically, at this show that you wrestled Acid Rain in that handicap match, all of a sudden, some guy that we don't know rocks up. It's an old friend of yours. Don't know who he is. I think he was wearing a red shirt. And you two sat in the corner the whole show, just talking. And at one stage, you went up to John and said, "Is it all right if we go inside and hang out and watch a video or something?"
While everyone was wrestling?
Yeah.
Cardinal sin!
And we were so angry at you for doing that.
I would have been angry. I'm angry now.
And showing a lack of interest in watching the show.
And lack of respect. I'd go there just to dirty my feet in your ring and then sit on the side and talk and then fuck off and...
You wanted to go inside and watch a videotape, and after that, because we were talking a
videotape? What did I want to watch?
I don't know.
The Nanny or Hulk Hogan or some bullshit? The story can only get worse from here. Jesus.
So, we didn't understand why you thought that would be the best thing to do at a wrestling show where you were a part of it, and we were angry. We were like, what's going on with this guy? Does he not really want to be a part of this? And so we confronted you about it on MSN.
Yeah.
I think we had a three-way convo with me, you, and John.
Hopefully I was a bit more respectful online.
No.
Oh, shit.
No, it was like, look, dude, we don't think it was very, like, we thought it was kind of bullshit that you wanted to watch a videotape and all that, and you were like, fuck you, I quit.
What?
I don't want to be a part of it anyway. You guys wrestle in fucking socks, blah blah blah, stuff like that.
Sock wrestling's awesome.
I tried to reason with you. I was like, I'd like to at least wrestle you before you leave, because I like to make sure that I wrestle everyone before they.
Oh, dude, I am so sorry.
That's alright.
I mean, I guess who I was now.
For years, I had a huge issue with you for years because of it.
Yeah,
and then it was only until I got a little bit older and I realised we're just fucking kids. Like, don't judge this guy on this one thing.
And I can't even relate to that logic. Like, even now, if someone did that at my show, I would be the one to say to them, "You're not coming back."
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say anything like there's an issue and whatnot.
We just wanted to tell you that we thought it was
I just
problem.
had like a random flashback.
Yep.
Oh, I don't remember any details, but I just got taken to that space for a second.
Yep.
That's crazy. So this is the first time. Did you tell me that online as well?
Yeah,
or?
it was on MSN. I was talking to.
Yeah. See, it still
then
feels
you
like
ended
it's
up
the first
blocking
time.
me, or I blocked you from MSN and deleted you, and then
whatever the case, I hope you blocked me, and I'm sorry you didn't block me from the start and gave me a chance to disrespect you further. You know, but if you totes want to have a grudge match about it, mate.
Well, we can use
in
that
your
maybe
socks,
one day,
mate.
Maybe we can use that one day, and I'll come out and I'll be wearing socks. And be like, I'm going to show you that I can beat you while wearing just socks.
Well, funny, NHPW actually who I trained with, have a bit of a sock exercise, but we'll probably talk about that later. But it's actually a very manly and a real professional way to develop your ability, wearing socks in the ring.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. With NHPW.
I am so sorry for that.
It's okay, and you were forgiven long before you apologised.
I must have been a pompous jackass.
But to be honest, looking back, I feel like back then we were so... This is our thing, these are our friends. It's them first. If outsiders come in, it was really difficult for all of them to fit in. Homicide had a huge problem trying to fit in. We were just teenagers, we were assholes, and we wouldn't give them the time of day. We wouldn't hang out.
I remember you guys were pretty welcoming from my end, but
I think we were somewhat
Who was
cordial.
the guy in the red shirt? Do you remember?
Don't know. There's footage of that show. I'm sure that you can see you sitting in the background with this guy in a red shirt.
Wow.
But like Acid Rain, we had a falling out with him once. And then he came back and we had another falling out. It was just really difficult for outsiders to join our group.
I'm kind of happy I didn't come back, because I sound like a complete dick. And I wouldn't have wanted to have made an ass of myself and disrespect you a second time.
And that's okay.
Like, God, I came back when I'd ripened up in maturity.
It took till like about late 2003, so Blade had been there for about a year and a half before he finally got given a bit more respect and was seen as one of us. So he was the only person that really kept chipping away at us, and he eventually
blended in Assassin's Creed style.
Exactly, yeah. So I just wanted to quickly ask you about the time that you had Blade over your house to do a bit of training together, because I remember back then he said to you, if you remember it, your eyes squinted then, so I don't know if you remember it, but he went to your house to do a bit of training and you taught him a thing or two.
I'm not lying when I say I remember. I'm just trying to give specifics to what I remember. I remember he came over and we mucked around, but what we actually got up to, I guess we just wrestled, didn't we?
Cool. Well, that's all right. Don't need too much information on that.
The big things stick out to me. I don't remember. That's why I don't think there was any real big things in that handicap match against Acid Rain.
Yeah, because it was just
nothing jumps out. I do now vaguely remember ropes, but I thought I saw that on a video.
Okay, I'll show you it afterward.
Yeah,
you were wearing all black, long sleeve, eyeliner.
Wow.
And you had black lipstick on.
Oh, yeah, I came in my goth attire instead of my old Wu-Tang Homie G setup.
Yeah, totally.
Totally opposite.
XPW was completely different this time around.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, that's what led to your exit from XCW, and unfortunately, I didn't talk to you for about 12 years.
Yeah, a bad move on my part. It's like that movie Sliding Doors or Butterfly Effect. One dick move you make, and you know,
changes the course of
by now we
everything.
could have had 2, 3, 4 amazing feuds.
Exactly.
You know, and broken each other's backs a zillion times.
Yeah, and who knows? You might have become a really big part of XCW as years went on. But next thing I want to ask you about seeing Johnny V at Dick Smith.
And in response to that, it could have been, we cannot change the past and rewrite it, but we can write the future.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to this following year.
And we will definitely write some good shit.
Fuck yeah.
This coming year. But
Bring it
seeing
on,
Johnny
buddy.
V at Dick Smith Electronics.
Hey.
He messaged me, or no, I think he called me, and he was like, "You won't believe who I saw the other day. Remember that guy, James O'Mac? Yes. He came to Dick Smith. Really? Yeah. Does he have Facebook?
I remember
I can't
that.
remember his name. Oh, no, you don't remember anything? No. Oh. So,
Yeah, he was doing a refund for
gotcha.
something, or helping me fix, was it a malfunctional camera or something? 'Cause he was working in the repairs section.
Yeah.
I remember like haggling, and luckily he was there, so he made the transaction go smoothly.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, that was like my one, because at that point, you know, I probably hadn't thought the nicest things about you over the years, but as I grew older, realizing that we were just kids, blah, blah, blah. So I did want to get back in touch with you and kind of bury the hatchet, even though you don't actually remember the falling out that we had.
No,
so.
no. And I can't even relate, even intrinsically, to what I said and done.
Yeah, so...
Did we disappear for long and watch the video? Or was it something like I wanted to...
What's that?
You don't disappear from watching a show.
No, we didn't.
Especially when you're invited.
No, you had to stay out the back because we were like,
good.
no, you can't go and watch a videotape with your friends. You come watch them.
What did I want to watch?
I have
Fucking My
no
Little
idea.
Pony? What the fuck?
Fucking Jumanji or some shit.
That was a good film. But
It
still
was,
not
I
better
love
than,
Jumanji.
seeing a live show.
Alright,
Yeah.
well, that comes to the end of the XCW section, but the next bit I just wanted to touch on is XPW, which was at Blade's house. He held one show, and then he held a second smaller show, which none of us were really a part of, but I got to wrestle on that XPW show. From what I remember, the show was a mess. Like, I had no idea what the storylines were at all. There's so many run-ins.
There were storylines?
Yeah, there were supposed to be storylines. Blade was the commissioner. I thought he did a good job with it. A couple of his friends were there wrestling. His younger brother Geronimo was on the show, which was...
Geronimo, I remember.
Yeah, that
A
was
few
really cool.
shout-outs.
Like, you know, this little kid, and don't know why we didn't try and get him in XCW because we had Nick Carey.
It was refereeing and whatnot.
Yeah, but you had this fucking hellacious match with Homicide, and that made me realise Homicide was capable of a lot more in XCW. We just needed to put him in a scenario
Capable
where
of
he
withstanding crap.
yeah, and we just need to put him in a scenario where he could, you know, do that, but we never really did. But that was a great match. Do you have much memories of that day and that match?
I remember fucking up. I remember he fucked me up too. I think it was after that match with Blade later when he came and he choke slammed me off the trampoline, and it landed flat back squarely onto the mattress, single on the grass, and it just took all the wind out of me in the worst way.
So you wrestled Blade, did you?
Yeah.
Really? 'Cause I don't think Blade remembers it.
I've got the video. I got
Do
the
you?
match.
You have XPW footage.
Yeah, I've got that footage of the match with Luke.
No, really? Oh my god, Blade, if you're
And-
listening to this, we've got some XPW footage. He lost it all.
Oh, I've only got those matches. I
That's
think
great, that's
selectively
fine.
recorded
That's
it.
fine. It's something. Fuck. Oh my god, we've just uncovered
Yeah.
like something out of fucking
I
a
think I ended
tomb in Egypt here. Stuff we
There
thought
you
we'd
go.
never see. Oh my
There
god,
you go.
Blade. Just wipe the pre-cum from your dick. Just wait, okay? I'll make sure that you get to see this stuff.
I think Luke interfered. That was the second match. Luke, after I beat Luke in the first, and that was a
Gotcha.
hell match. Like, you know, I smashed sheets over
that
him.
was fucking crazy.
I whacked him with broomsticks. I put the basketball base on him on the trampoline.
Oh, I can't believe you have
Hugest leg
footage
drop.
of it.
Yeah, I
That's
remember that.
amazing.
Like,
Blade's gonna fucking lose his shit.
so he interferes in my next match against Blade and chokeslams
Yeah.
me off the tramp. I think he chokeslammed me through some plastic contraption, and I was tangled through it.
Yes. Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then fucking Blade pins me, I think, and he won that match. Though I beat Luke the first match, which is why he wasn't so happy.
Gotcha.
Good old spear from the trampoline.
Yeah.
Did the trick.
Now I remember because Luke pretended to leave. He grabbed his backpack and he walked out. See you guys, see ya.
Yeah.
I know where he got it from. He got it from UBW because I did the exact same thing.
Played the
and
angle.
I did a run-in for the main event.
Yeah.
See you guys. See ya.
Whoa,
Off he goes.
What's he doing here?
Wait a minute. Here come. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Shit.
Yeah.
I am so fucking excited that we've got footage of that stuff. It's a shame that maybe my match didn't get recorded. I always wanted to see what that one looked like, but that's okay. We've got a little bit of XPW footage. So, Blade, your little one-time fed that you had, we've uncovered a little bit here today.
And I got you as well. Come at the announcers table.
Really?
Yeah. And
Oh,
you're
man,
slamming, you're pseudo slamming pills down. Joe, Nick. No, what's the guy Dick Smith.
John.
Yeah, John. Yeah, he's having a fit at the table, and you're slamming pills down. Like, calm down.
Oh, really?
He's just like losing it. Like,
oh my god, I can't wait to watch it. That's footage that I haven't seen since that day. I've not seen any.
He's
of
like,
that.
just take your pills.
All right. So where are we in this section of the podcast? We are up to 30 minutes. Cool. Getting on to the next subject, NSWA-e. I can't remember what it stands for.
Nearly shitworthy. Northern Suburbs Wrestling. That's the one.
Alliance Entertainment.
Alliance and Entertainment.
I never understood why they put the E on it.
I wasn't confused about the last two. That stays the same. Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't just say NSW, New South Wales.
And Entertainment. Because 4 syllables just is not enough.
Oh, you need 5. I mean,
well, they had a dash after the A, so they actually had 6 symbols, you know. Because bigger is better in that world.
And I thought WZWA was already 4 is too long. I always thought it was too long. You need 3, but 5 is, really pushing it. How did you get in touch with...
At least it wasn't 5.5.
NSWA-e? How did you...
NSWA-e, let me go back in the think tank, because there's no footage with the handshake deal. Who did I first meet with NSWA-e? Is it Dr. Chops?
Dr. Chops.
I think it was Dr. Chops.
That's Jake Paragon, who I was talking about earlier today. Dr. Chops.
Dr. Chops. It was a funny one.
Always Chops.
I think it's the same thing. The internet back in those days brought us all together. Not too unlike these days, but
the only footage you can find of that company is through your channel.
Really?
Can't find any of it. They've taken it all down or something, but apparently they've got videotapes.
No, I proposed to my ex-fiancé in their ring, and I never got to see that footage, and it got the biggest pop I heard in any of the events I did with them. Should have heard it. It was insane. And I was reading it off the toilet paper that I had written my proposal on backstage. But anyway, that was like my last match.
So you spoke to Dr. Chops and you...
or someone like that. I remember the people I came in and got real buddy with. There was a guy I ended up having my second match with, Demise, or Gus. And he was, a juggalo, short, stocky, tough, hardcore fella. Really good wrestler. Awesome leg drops. For a short tub... No, not tubby, it was a stocky, but he can do some killer high leg drops as well.
So what were your impressions of the Federation when you first joined?
When I first joined, I thought, this is cool. I mean, it's one
They're
step
in a hall,
up.
right?
That's where they did their shows, yes.
Was it always in a hall? It was never in a backyard?
They used to practice in the backyard. It was Sundays. So I went there it would have been for the first... Because I went there twice, you see. I went there for the first run, and... I don't know if I had any official matches with them. I think I trained with them for like a month.
Gotcha. And
then they left, and there was some kind of weird falling out thing, which I don't even recall. Because it's great having a goldfish memory. You can't hold a grudge. It's great.
So was this about 2005 or something?
It would have been. It feels right in the timeline.
Yep.
And then I went back to them when I was around 17, 18, and having 3 shows with them.
Okay.
And about 3 months worth of training on Sundays. And I went about 2-3 times a month.
Gotcha. Yep.
So and I used to train a lot with Gus and Jay, the other juggler, and they were part of their team.
Yep.
Murder is a Beautiful Thing. That's their theme song. I forget the name of the group, but anyway, they were awesome.
Do you remember the commentator Adam?
Yeah, he was a good commentator.
Yeah, he's a commentator for EPW.
He's now with EPW, man. I've seen him move on and seen the videos. Seems to be doing well.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Yeah.
A friend of mine now.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
But yeah,
Funny.
I just want to know more about NSWA-e and what the environment was like.
Training was real loose, real loose environment, and there'd be people having a drink here and even a Billy there, and it was all cool. It wasn't to the point of like doing real dangerous, reckless shit and being overly wasted or whatever. Like everyone knew their limits, and whatever. We didn't take it too seriously, but with that said, like, we were there to train, and train hard.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I went there, I literally trained so hard, that was the beginning of me damaging my lower back for the first time, and it stuck with me to this day. I was with Gus training, or Demise, and he was doing German suplexes. And I think I had an instance in the past where I landed on my head. So I had the whole fear thing, it stops you in your tracks and makes you stunt the move.
Yeah.
So I just kept curling up too much and landing on my lower back instead of arcing up and landing on my shoulders like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
So, and me being the stubborn fool that I am, I'm just like, again.
Oh, gotcha.
And literally kept slamming me on my lower back about 8 good times. And on their ring, albeit that is made of mattresses, the top layer, they actually use like the wooden slats used to form the cargo containers on cargo trains.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's like a good inch of timber. So it's a solid, sturdy base, and they tie it together and chuck that on the mattresses. I think 2 layers of mattresses. So it hurt being slammed on that. With the carpet too, there was a bit of carpet, man. But no, it was a fun environment. Besides that one instance of injuring myself and then my disc slipping 2 years later.
So you were with them for 2 runs, were you?
I thought three actual shows, and I went with them for 2 different runs. Yeah, gotcha. And I did a lot more training than I did actual shows.
Gotcha. Okay.
I remember when I first went there, I had a bit of an issue. Like everywhere else I've been, the way things were managed, it seemed fair enough and enjoyable, and nothing really got my hair up. With NSWA-e, there was personally a slight issue, and I think this has something to do with why I left the first time. I can't recall the details, but I know it involves Amanda, who was running in NSWA at the time. And I'm pretty sure it would have been about my ideas versus her ideas, and of course if you're dealing with Amanda, it's only going to go down one way.
Yeah.
Her ideas are going to come down on top. You can keep fighting it, or you can just walk away.
Yeah.
And I think there was just some things I didn't agree with. I mean, she had this. I get the idea that wrestlers have their move list, and you don't take other people's moves and all this stuff. But it was really limited, very limited, and how it was determined who could do what. And a lot of criticism for everything, a lot of ways to improve everything. And I actually thought, who is this person? What experience do they have in the ring? From the seams of it, I wouldn't be surprised if they'd never actually taken a bump. However, I'm being criticized, and I wasn't a professional, but I had experience, in contrast. So I got a bit sour grape about that, and a bit frustrated, and I think the creative control, and even just the way the storylines were, and it was a bit simplistic, or similar to the way one of the later feds that I trained with for a bit were, with the way that they just ran storylines and made the decisions very much on a whim. Real big picture stuff. So I left, and then I came back, and a couple of years later or so, I was 18, and it went smoothly. Had my first match. I think it was in an invitational, like a gauntlet match, and I was like, I don't know, the 4th dude, and I came in against Stinger, and I beat him, and actually hurt him pretty bad with the finish. I was playing a raver at that point. Yeah. Done away with the James O'Mac,
okay,
gothic
so that was all gone.
/ homey, weird gimmick. And I was like the raver, so I came in all white and dancing to hardcore music and fucking ended up doing a swanton bomb on top of Stinger, which is my finisher still. And I had the whistle in my mouth, and I actually blew the whistle as I was flying because I thought that would be cool. But it doesn't help when you're doing aerials to exhale sharply. So I kind of fell a bit short and landed on him, and he felt like I broke his ribs, but it was fine. It was just winded really bad. And then the match following that, I think after that, Dr. Chops came in and ended up sitting on me, and he pinned me.
It's funny that you talk about Dr. Chops, which is Jake Paragon from Schwa. He was so anti-backyard wrestling when I met him.
Yeah.
And...
Well, they practice in their backyard, but they never held, like, events in their backyard.
So were they, like, I guess, half a pro fed, but in a backyard setting inside of a hall?
Yeah. Well, everything that they did inside their ring in the hall is exactly what they'd practiced in the backyard. The only difference was one had 4 walls surrounding it.
Yeah.
and the commentator and the lights and the proper setup, and there wasn't, everyone was in kayfabe, and that's the only difference. It was serious and pro, but it was all fine tuning behind closed doors, or more so outside of doors altogether.
Gotcha.
And second match with them was pretty good. I think the first match got a bit of hype with the crowd, and they put me in an actual Golden Shove, which is their hardcore title equivalent, against Demise and Bruiser. And well, you've seen that match.
Yes, I have.
Pretty brutal. I took a lot of, I think everything I dished out to the likes of, Blade and Homicide and Acid Rain, and it definitely came back to me threefold in that match.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Excellent. So what led to you leaving NSWA-e a second time?
I'm really bad with specifics. I know you want the juicy, you want the history.
Yeah.
You know, how did it come?
I want to know all about the Federation that I still don't have much info about.
I still think it's the same reason as the first. I just remember, like I said, I remember the essence of things, not the specifics after a certain time. Unless it's super significant. Me leaving them wasn't super significant to me. Not as much as the AWL. So I remember the last match after the main event hardcore title match.
Yeah,
I was a drag queen. It was a Halloween special. I did the proposal thing, dressed in drag. It's pretty hilarious. I think they threw away my sequin jacket that I had. It was like a Jericho kind of really cool jacket. I spent good money on that at an op shop or whatever, and I don't know. I don't think that was the reason, but I was a bit upset with that, and it was just a bit of disrespect. And I was like, oh, whatever. It was left behind, and so we chucked it. And I'm like,
they could have kept it. For next time, and then you could pick it up.
And I think that was like the little bit of it, and I think it was just I think it just got weird. I'm not sure why, because after the match before that, when Demise actually, hurt me in the match because he felt that I stole his spot and outshined him, even though to me, I didn't know that the plan was to do the move inside the ring. I thought, outside the ring's obviously better.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, well, that's totally better than my planned finish, so fuck you, and slams himself on my knee and tweaks it to this day. So I think that created tensions.
Yeah.
And then the last match was a flop, and then the jacket. It was just a combination of things.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you have any fond memories of the Federation?
I remember the atmosphere there as well. I did like it in the back, practicing with Matt. Me and Matt, or now he's known as Slate. We actually got on really well. We had a few matches just practicing.
Yeah.
So there were a few matches where we actually rang the bell, and we had matches and ding ding and a pin, and it was serious. So there was a bit of backyard wrestling. Me and him did awesomely. A few good memories with him. Just general wrestling.
Yeah.
Just what makes you enjoy it. Good chemistry and moves looking awesome. Besides great wrestling with them and being on the same page with everyone there, because they're all pretty good wrestlers. It's not much else that stands out. Yeah. We weren't best buds outside of the ring, so.
Yeah. Alright, well, I guess that's as much as I can squeeze out of this topic on NSWA-e. But very interesting to see the similarities in your experiences with them then and my experiences when I wrestled for their Pro Fed Schwa years later. Pretty much the same issue came into place as to why I ended up losing interest in being a part of it.
I think Amanda booked me for a match. I think there was some kind of criticism. Like, on one hand, the second match, she shot me off after the audience got good reception, and I was going to, and it was giving me this mega push, and then all of a sudden, I vaguely recall something being, I don't know if it was a storyline or an angle or something, but it was just dropped. And I honestly can't recall if they dropped me or if I left them, to be honest, or I think it was them putting me so low on the card. I was like, okay, obviously you're not taking me seriously at all.
Yeah.
Not to be like, I'm worth $1 million. You should give me a main event every time. But I just remember the way that it was communicated. I wasn't happy with. Yeah.
I remember. Very, very, very vaguely someone from their federation contacting me on MSN or whatever it was, MySpace. I don't know. Trying to get me to join, and they asked me, what have you done? Like, well, I'm in XCW, this is my character. Oh, well, if you join, we'd have to change your character completely. And I was like, well, no, I'm not interested then, because I'd rather be me than something else.
Yeah, like CM Punk and change for nobody.
Yeah, like, I was still very deep in the XCW thing at that stage, and I just didn't want to wrestle for someone else at that point. But, it was just a weird conversation that I had a long time ago. I'm not sure if it was that Fed, but I'm pretty sure it was. So from there,
it really comes down to respect, doesn't it? If they're going to take you on board and receive your contributions to their organisation, the least they can do is pay respect to your roots, where you come from.
Yeah, and I said to them, look, you're a backyard Fed, I'm a backyard Fed. I've done this in this backyard Fed, and I'd like it to be respected.
Yeah, and bring
Despite the fact that you have nothing to do with this Fed, and this is your Fed, I'm not going to come in as guy that loses every match. Maybe I was being a little bit
too ambitious from the get-go.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like, I'm not going to downplay the importance of my federation to come to your federation and be your jobber.
Yeah,
it's not fair.
You got to keep true to
It's not fair on the legacy of my federation to have me be the top guy there and come in and be just a nobody.
Even your character, it's bad form breaking kayfabe. Yeah. Really, I mean,
and no one would know. Any of their fans wouldn't know XCW, but it meant something to me in here. I'm not going to cheapen XCW by being the top guy there and coming here and being a little guy. If I want to come in, I think
that speaks a lot about the relationship that you form with your character, who you are as a wrestler and who you are as a person. There's not that much separation. You can't just like Jekyll and Hyde switch when it's convenient for someone else. It just screws with. Maybe my position wasn't warranted a big push immediately. Maybe I wouldn't have been as great a wrestler as anyone else there, but I still felt what I'd done with XCW meant something and it shouldn't be forgotten about. So that's why one conversation, done and dusted. Didn't talk to anyone from there again, except until I joined WZWA years later. So I never even saw WZWA perform, so I'm not really sure how they were at that level, at that point.
So the next question I got is, why did you stop wrestling after NSWA-e? Why was there no more backyard wrestling for you? Had you just had enough?
To be honest, I was doing in plastering, texture coating, got pretty absorbed in work. Like I said, I think the back injury that I had with Gus, and then 2 years later in texture coating, that my disc slipping. Obviously, it wasn't just a matter of getting hurt this day, 2 years later it falls out. I would have been feeling the tension of that for a while. So I think it was a physical thing, time. It's always been a passion, and it's always been something in the back of my head or at the front of my mind.
Like you can't wait to find a way to wrestle again.
Well, nothing else has ever made me feel passionate and motivated to achieve and to try. To be honest, I'm a bit nihilistic and everything's pretty pointless, whatever which way you look at it, whatever angle. But wrestling, I don't know, at the heart of it, there's something that is true, and some say it's fake, and it's, on the surface, but at the heart of it...
How you feel about it is real.
Yeah, and I don't know, I think it's the balance of it being a show, and you're working together with someone, with friends, but you're also feigning this conflict, and you're creating meaning and storylines through this conflict, yet through harmony at the same time. There was just something about the whole process which ticked all my boxes, and nothing makes me feel more alive. So, I don't know why it's taken me so long. Like I said, recently last year, towards the end there, I got into training with another Fed a little bit.
Which I was going to bring up.
But before then, I think for a while there, I got lost in the doof culture for a bit. A lot of partying and everything that goes with it.
Is there a lot of drugs?
Yeah, there was some drugs. I'd be lying if I said there was none. I'd be lying if I said there was little.
Yeah.
And there was a sum of drugs. And I never hit it as hard as my peers, but I was distracted enough and just spent a lot of time hanging around other people that weren't as ambitious.
Yeah. You know what? Now I've uncovered a memory. I vaguely remember, this is long before John said that he saw you at Dick Smith Electronics. I can't remember who said it. but someone said that they saw you out and about and you looked like you were
spaced out,
zonked out, something like that.
Probably
I
just
can't
my
remember
general
what it was. Maybe it's just you being yourself.
Yeah.
But,
you think that's being zonked out?
was there ever a problem with the drug stuff? You know,
No, I mean, I wouldn't call that a problem. Well, maybe the weed a bit.
Because I had a problem with that. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure that's contributed to the awful. I mean, the amazing memory I've so thoroughly exhibited in this interview. But
trust me, you've been better than some other people who've never taken drugs. Trust me.
Well, but no, I mean, I took other stuff, psychedelics, namely. I didn't like stuff like ecstasy. You push a button, it makes you smile for a while. You do a dance, say I love you, they say I love you back, and in the morning you turn your backs and you hide your faces and you just walk away into the cold back home alone, and you don't remember each other's name. You don't care about what you talked about. It's just like an on switch, off switch for happiness and love. Yeah. But it's fake. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
So I was more into drugs not for comfort, not for escapism or relief, but more for growth, control.
Expanding your mind instead of escaping your mind.
Yeah, putting yourself in a different state of being, a state of relating and perceiving the world from a different angle and making new connections. And I did that for a couple of years pretty solidly.
How did you get into the whole duff thing?
That's another story, but just I used to hang out in Forest Chase when I was 15.
That area. Yeah,
and then after 3 years there, I hung out in Central Park for a few years until I was 21. And throughout that time, I fell into the duff circles because they were all enmeshed and started duffing every weekend for about 2-3 years. Then maybe every month for about 2 years. In the last 6 years, I now go once a year. Halloween.
I've still never been to one. I'd like to go to one.
Come next Halloween, I'll be there.
Alright, cool.
It goes off.
Let's do it.
You don't need to have drugs to have a ball.
That's okay. I'm not really a drug person these days, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. Yeah, the psychedelics.
I like a beer, that's about it,
Yeah, bottle of whiskey for me will be fine.
Sounds good, yeah.
Some turkey.
So let's talk about NHPW just briefly. You don't have to say too much if you don't want to, but
sure.
Just your experience of doing pro training, and why was it that you decided at that point after all these years to try and get back into it?
Alright. Well, I will speak with a certain level of respect because at the core of it, I do have a lot of respect to Nick, or Manor, I should say. And I would wipe my feet when entering their ring, whether there's anyone there watching me or not. That's a thing of theirs, respect.
Of course, I always wipe my feet too.
Just
in case anyone was watching,
Yeah.
You don't do it, man. Sometimes when I was in AAW, I forgot to shake someone's hand, thinking that I might have already done it, but I'm not sure.
You have a grudge match,
and
then
they're fucking angry at me for the next 3 months because I didn't shake their hand 3 months ago.
God, so temperamental, Jesus. So sensitive.
But yeah,
it was.
What made you want to try the pro thing after all those years?
I guess it's the itching got enough, and I was 27, turning 28. I'm 28 now. January 22nd was my birthday this year, and so I guess I was like, well, it's now or never. Really, I'm almost. It would have been ideal if I started sooner, but I'm at the point now where if I wait any longer, I'm verging on impossible. I'm verging on highly improbable of making it as a worldwide phenomenon in the wrestling world.
I think with your love and your passion for it, it'll show. If you ever do chase the dream one day, I think it will show, and I think you will. You would go far for sure.
I'm confident. It actually started with July 2011, July 14. Is that the one? CM Punk shoot.
Oh yeah, the shoot. Yeah.
And I didn't watch WWE for quite a while. I got over the whole PG, John Cena, everything.
Dude. I haven't watched it. I only watched the Rumble and WrestleMania.
Since he left, I haven't watched it again much either.
I watch the old shit now.
It's all propaganda and whatever now. But back when he actually brought back some authentic, stirring.
Who knows
shit.
What's he going to say next? We got to tune in next week.
And it actually matters what he says now. It's like it's so obvious. It's cream cheese. It's cut off a script. Is what it is now, and you can taste it. It's pungent. Whereas with him, it was fresh and it wasn't cheesy.
And what do they do with it? They shut on it.
Yeah, took the chicken salad and turned it into shit.
Yeah.
But I watched that, and I started watching his matches, and then the 434-day reign, and I actually started. I quit smoking at that same time because a gym opened up across the road, Snap Fitness, and 24/7 works for me. I'm a night owl.
Me too.
So I signed up. I tried quitting smoking before, failed every time. I committed to the gym. I committed to working out so I can get into wrestling because I was being inspired again by all of this.
Yeah.
And naturally, as a byproduct and consequence of that, I quit smoking.
Yeah.
Because why waste money on smokes when you're paying for a gym membership and you're doing your hard work?
Exactly.
And that's what I say to anyone who's trying to quit anything. Don't commit to quitting, ever. You can't commit to not doing something. You can't commit to a negative. Yeah. Commit to something else. Something tangible, a goal.
You forget about the other one.
Yeah, and the other one, it just happens.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. I quit that, and now I smoke occasionally, as you see, on social occasions. But anyway, started going to the gym, worked really hard. Like, I'm talking 4 or 5 hours a day, 4 days a week, for 6 months.
Yeah.
Got myself into an okay state. It wasn't until at least 3 years after that, though, that I actually took the training with NHBW.
Why them? Why did you choose them?
Well, I heard through them. I heard about them, and I've been to a couple of their shows, and I chatted with Mana, and I actually shot one of their shows, and got a couple of my mates to do some camera work, and I had good rapport with Mana, and he was like, you should come along to the training session. I saw it on Facebook one day, free training session, at the whatever house, slaughterhouse, whatever they call it.
Slaughterhouse, yeah.
So, and I went there, and I got slaughtered. Cutting to the core of it, that's why I left. I got slaughtered. I mean, from the beginning to the very end where that happened, it was great. Loved it. For $100 a month, it's good money, good value for money, even though $100 wasn't the only price. I mean, you also had to compulsorily join up, I think, on Sundays, once or twice a week to actually hand out advertising and stuff, which I would do anyway. Like, I appreciate Fed urging its members to do that, but making it compulsory, otherwise you don't get the training that you've paid for.
Yeah, that's not
bit.
Right, yeah.
So basically, it was like you can train 2 days a week, but if you do if you help out twice a week or whatever, then you can also train an extra 2 days. I think it was just helping out 1 day a week, which I did.
They probably just implemented that rule so people would actually help out.
Yeah, and I didn't hold that against them too much. But at the end of it, when I thought about how much I was paying, not just with money, but with time.
Yeah.
And then going there, and then sometimes I'd work out for 30 minutes, and then I'd get about 30 minutes training, and then watch other people have some matches, get 30 minutes training, and sometimes I had an hour and a half, 2 hours training. It was awesome. But it wasn't consistent. And some of it, I think, was just a bit reckless. Like, I remember one of the first things was getting people to flip over through the ropes from the get-go, and there's a newbie in there who's never done this kind of stuff before, and there's no mats on the ground outside the wrestling ring. There's no padding, there's no safety measures. And that's the first thing, when they're saying, okay, just do this, just copy this guy, and this guy who's done it several hundred times just flips through the rope. And then this guy's saying...
suicide dive?
No, just a normal, hold the rope and just throw your body through and out to the outside. Oh. Just a normal flip.
Oh, okay.
Side kind of jump through the rope.
I would have been like, no.
But you actually have to do a barrel roll. It's a roll. You gotta twist and land on your feet outside the ring. And this guy's a big kind of tubby, clumsy guy. First time doing this. And I watched him do this painfully, and at one point his leg hit the apron. And he didn't injure himself, but it hurt. And I was like, well, lucky he didn't injure himself. Like, you don't just say, copy this guy who's got experience. Monkey see, monkey do. Go replicate it. Go do it. That's not professional. People get hurt that way. Even if you do make him sign a contract that says, I take full responsibility.
Yeah.
And then it came to the actual one, towards the very end. I think it was the last time I went, actually. We did this big workout session. There were some really mean circuits, but they were good, and I get the point. But I tried expressing that, I'm a gardener. I work hard physically every day. Before you know, I might even have my own workout routine. I don't know, a little bit of a workout, a bit of a warm-up, a bit of stretching.
Sure.
I get that.
Perfect.
But having a full-on, Biggest Loser the muscle building, weight loss, muscle building version, it was too boot camp and cutthroat, very American, I sensed. And I don't know if it's because Mana has been taught.
It's maybe the way he was brought up in the business, because he's part of that similar.
And he's a professional.
Heritage,
He's been with professionals. He's been with the best. He's been with legends of WWE as well as anywhere else. Some pretty big names. I'm not going to draw any out, but
I remember one story
yeah.
about, you were talking about the squats earlier today.
Well, that's what killed me.
And I remember hearing a story Scott Hall was talking about when he met Barry Windham. And Scott was saying, I really want to be a part of the business. I'm trying right now. And Barry's like, who are you training with? He's like, I'm training with Hiro Matsuda. And Barry's like, fuck that. He's just going to have you doing squats all day. Meet me at this place at this time tomorrow. I'll bring my friend with me. I can't remember who it was. And then they trained Scott for a day and helped him out a little bit. And Scott realised, that there's other things you should be learning about.
Yeah.
I think it should be up to the trainees themselves to keep themselves in shape outside of training. Yeah. Training should be about the part that you don't know about, which is the wrestling. Learning about that. The squats, the running. I get that. People should be smart enough to be doing that on their own accord, and they shouldn't be directed to do it like.
And if you don't have that discipline, then you just don't get pushed.
Exactly. And I've never agreed with it. As far as I'm concerned, I think it should be bestowed upon us to do it ourselves, away from the wrestling.
And that's what you pay for.
When you're there, do a warm up, get into the ring, learn the shit. Learn the psychology, watch some tapes. This is how these guys did it. Why did these guys do it?
It's all wrestling training.
Why did these guys do this? Oh, I don't know. This is why these guys did this.
Yeah.
Things like that. I think that's what training really does need.
And it didn't have that kind of critical feedback and that much focus just on wrestling. It was like, if I had a gym membership, I'd be asking, well, why am I paying for one gym membership and a half and paying good money for half wrestling? This is wrestling training. It's not meant to be a workout as well. So when they had us doing 400 squats, irrespective of if we'd done it before, and the guys all around me struggling first time, and it wasn't him saying we're going to do 400 squats, get ready. It was like, all right, we're going to do 100, finish, 30-second break, or a minute break. And I'm like, all right, we're going to do another 100. And it was just kind of toying. I was like, you know what? I don't think you've had enough yet. Another 100. You know what I mean?
It's
Lifting.
Like, at the end of that, you're going to have lead in your legs, and then you got to go out there and do bumping and all that stuff.
And it doesn't help.
How are you supposed to do that when your legs are fucking dead,
It wasn't a good way to start the lesson, definitely.
No, I think it's dangerous to train people to that level where they're fucking exhausted and sore. And then
but apparently there's a PT professional there. The girl that's always with Manor, and she reckons that's totally fine. Even though I actually spoke with best friend personal trainers who actually say, no, actually you've got to work incrementally in building up your own unique capacities.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you push your muscles too far past your limit, as you gradually push them, you'll tear them. You'll damage yourself. Yeah. That's actually not going to cause growth or strength. It's going to do the opposite. That's the various professional opinions I've saw. More than just one girl who thinks, doesn't matter who you are, what size, if you've worked out ever before in your life, 400 squats in a row, that's fine. Thumbs up.
Yeah, well that doesn't
Which to me...
does it sound normal?
Does not sound normal.
And I don't want to sit here and shit on NHPW because I actually like their federation.
I really like them. I really like Nick, and I like the girl and I'm talking about, and everyone in there. And I see now the people that I started training with, they're actually wrestling in events, and one of them has a belt. Kuma or Kumana. Yeah. Whatever his wrestling gimmick is and name is. And I think, I would have liked to have stayed, but with that said, the whole boot camp thing, we're not really going to listen to you and your concerns. Just do it because these guys are doing it and everyone else does this to get through in the business. I mean, maybe that's the way the business is, and maybe that's why at the end of the day I actually wouldn't want to do it if I got a good taste of what it's really like.
And I'm sure, mate, and they're not going to be listening to this because they don't listen to my podcast, but...
either case, it could become quite
I'm sure
historic.
if they're listening to what we're saying right now, they'll be like, oh, how disrespectful to our business that they say. No, it's
I've been
not.
talking way too long for that to happen.
Next subject that I wanted to ask you about is your perception on the argument that's always been prevalent, yarding versus professional wrestling. I want to know your thoughts on their perception of us and the way that they think about.
You've deliberately waited till I've had like my 5th beer for this question, haven't you?
And I'm going to have a wee while you answer it.
All right. Backyarding. Well, I don't know. What's the difference? Really, what is the difference? What is the fundamental difference in ingredients, let's say, for one person to say this cake is acceptable, right, and this cake is just not, and it's shit? I mean, really, it's the same thing. You got wrestling. You got wrestlers doing the wrestling, and training together using information that they've gained through some means, typically from the internet or from people that they've seen do the moves, showing them, and they're just copying, which you can still do that from the internet, just as you can do it with someone live in a ring. It's not... To be honest, the NHP guys, the stuff they had us doing, I watched the exact same circuits and routines in training being performed on the internet. It's almost as if they watched it and then said, well, we're professional, and started teaching it.
Yeah.
But I doubt that's the case, because Nick's actually a professional.
Of course.
I'm just saying there's not much difference between learning from a screen that's showing the same shit that a person can show you live. So this wrestler's wrestling in a ring. All the vital ingredients are there. It's wrestling. The difference is, one has 4 walls around it and one does not.
Exactly.
And I don't think if someone's going to use those walls as a mirror to look at the face of the wrestling that's happening in the center, at the heart of the experience, and they're judging the value and the quality of that moment in wrestling as being, oh, this is a great moment, or this is shit. Because there are great moments in Backyard. And people won't even look at it. They'll say, it doesn't matter about your moments, doesn't matter about your greatness.
Any of it. None of it means anything because it's Backyard
It's
wrestling.
utterly reduced in value because they're looking at it based on a walled perspective. I don't even get it. Like, that's the definition to me.
It's insane.
One is, and they will say, oh, well, we're professionally trained, and blah, 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 which once again, it's just copying.
I've had training, and so has half of my roster in WZWA.
Everyone's copied relayed information. That's what training is.
Exactly.
We've all copied relayed information one way or another.
It's like, guy from a certain federation, Perth, he went and got training with Lance Storm. He took the information he got from Lance Storm and started training people himself.
Yeah.
Does that make him qualified?
I don't know, what made Lance Storm qualified? And what made the guy that trained him qualified?
Yeah, does that mean that I'm not qualified because I didn't go to Lance Storm? Or am I
but
also
you don't
qualified
wrestle in
because
walls,
the guy
though.
that went to Lance Storm taught me how to do it?
Yeah.
Am I also qualified?
It's a wishy-washy thing. Like,
No.
you either know what you're doing or you don't. And that's the thing. A lot of these guys that boast that they're professional and they put their thumbs down the throats of backyarders. And they say, what you're doing is a disgrace to the business. It's garbage. It makes us look bad. It gives us a bad name. All this typical crap from these high and mighty. Most of the time, they started in the filth that is backyard wrestling.
Neville in WWE was a backyard wrestler.
Yeah.
One of the young bucks never got wrestling training.
EP I think last time I checked, they still had a website up, but that would have been 5 years ago. But they're surely taken it down by now.
It's not like it used to be.
And what happened? What happened? They met a guy named Gary who gave them a ring. They started wrestling in that ring, in venues, and that made them professional. So what is it? Is it a turnbuckle and ropes and a post and a mat and an apron? Is that what makes you a professional?
Guess what, motherfucker? The game's changed now because we got a ring.
Well, we
got posts. We got turnbuckles.
I've seen it.
We got all
it's
that.
It's bigger than WCW's ring,
Exactly.
and it's awesome.
I guarantee you, if I was put on in some sort of radio interview arguing,
it's actually bigger than
backyard versus
NHPW's
pro
ring as well. Actually,
is it?
Yeah, not that it's the size it counts, but come on.
Well, sometimes
it matters.
I guarantee I'd win every argument. I reckon I could win any argument against any pro wrestler about yarding versus pro wrestling and why yarding.
Well, it's just about the heart of it. Everyone looks at it based on this superficial bullshit. Like, it's about who's trained you. Is it on paper? Is it official? It's about, is it inside a building or is it in a backyard? It's about, does he look the part, or are you just some guys off the road who just blah blah blah? All this, and it's like they have actually forgotten. They have lost sight of the point, and they've become the Yankees, so to speak, looking down as everyone else being the poor, miserable underdogs who are trying to be something they are not. When we are actually more than what they are, because we still have the heart of what it means to.
We do it for the actual love of just
the love
doing
of it. We wrestle from the heart, not from the walls. We wrestle from the heart, not from the ring, from the professional trainer. Like, we do
not
it.
Trying to discredit any pro wrestlers' love for
not
what
at
they
all.
do.
But if they're going to discredit our love,
but don't discredit us because we love it just as much as you. But our circumstances are totally different to yours.
Yeah.
People are studying law in WZWA. People are DJs. People are in bands. People
they've got stuff going on.
They've got shit going on. They don't have the time
And what, if
or
you don't
the
have
money.
the same level of commitment, then you can't rightfully participate or
Yeah.
get involved
You're
at
not
all.
you're not allowed to get that out of your system
Sorry,
one day a month. Because
All or nothing. All or
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's just not good enough. I mean, what?
Unbelievable, man.
So does that mean if everyone that's got a YouTube channel and they've got amateur videos of themselves just doing skits, random funny stuff, whatever, take it down right now, because you know what? If you're serious about it, and you don't want to pay disrespect to all the other actors out there who are actually taking their profession seriously, then do some courses.
How dare you play backyard cricket?
Yeah,
That's disrespectful to Steve Waugh.
it is disrespectful to Steve Warren and all the greats. Backyard cricketers. Football? What will the AFL have to say about that? People playing football in their yard. And that's the difference. Whether you're playing football in a stadium in front of 1,000 people or in a yard in front of 12. The point of it is what you're doing. And the point is you're playing football or you're wrestling.
Exactly.
And you're doing it for a reason. And I think the reason you're doing something means a lot more than the reason stupid people on the outside have for looking in and comparing it to their high almighty reasons. It's not even about their reasons. It's about what they got. We got the bigger dick.
Yeah.
We got the bigger ring. We got proper contracts. And so, fuck your piece of paper. I'm a better wrestler than you. And I can still say that probably about some professional wrestlers.
I'm better on the microphone than most of them, as far as I'm concerned.
But it doesn't
Maybe
matter
not
'cause
as a wrestler, but no one can touch me as far as I'm concerned.
you don't have the outside credentials. That's,
Damn.
You can't have a YouTube channel because you haven't sought out, years of acting courses and professional training. So all of your skits, they're no longer funny. They're no longer
They're
designed.
all discredited.
You can't even write anything. You can't even do poetry unless you've been trained personally by Edgar Allan Poe.
All right, look, I think we're getting pretty deep.
I think we've made the point.
I think we've made our point.
I just think it's silly.
It is.
People who judge, like, if you enjoy it, and I think when they say it's risky, yeah, people are watching, it can hurt them. You're not being good role models and people copy you. People make their own fucking choices, and if you're stupid enough to do something that's going to kill you, you're probably best out the genetic loop. But at the end of the day, you're responsible for yourself.
Yeah.
And I am much more for sharing what I feel is done from the heart that people love doing, as opposed to censoring and admitting it because I feel that I'm doing it better.
Yeah. Very good, and we'll end it on that point. I want to get back to... let's talk about me.
Yeah.
Me getting back in contact with you.
Hey.
I think I found you on Facebook eventually. I don't even know how I did it. Pardon me, but I found you and I messaged you.
Probably use the keyboard and the mouse, I'm guessing,
all
at
that
least.
stuff. What were your thoughts when you read your inbox and, hey man, don't know if you remember me?
I was like, that's a pleasant surprise. It's kind of like a ripple effect on the surface of a pond when, like, a distant old fish kind of surfaces and sets the scene again. I was like, cool, wrestling theme. And I don't know, I was excited at the prospect of being part of something which I love very much. With someone else who also love it as much, if not more, or whatever. It's not even about comparison. We're not playing those games. Not like you people do. Stupid freaking... I'm not even going to call out names.
This isn't a dick measuring contest.
It isn't. But, our hearts are on the same page. So when I saw your name on my page, I was like, I was excited.
Cool, yeah, I was too.
The potential of what could follow.
Yeah, and during that time you were still training with NHPW, but then I found out you had stopped doing the pro training, so I thought that might be the opportunity to bring you into the WZWA, which is not going to be a big topic right now.
Corrupt me with your evil backyard ways.
Exactly. But, we had a spot open for our big show of the year, Wrestleution, which is on March 12th in 13 days' time. Is it 10 years since you wrestled last?
Yeah, but just discrediting the training in the ring recently, which was only for like a month and a half or so, a month.
After all these years, you get to make your return.
It's been about 10 years, 10 solid ones.
Yeah, and you get to make your return and get to be in a ring.
I do. I'm excited, and you best not be thinking, whoever be coming up against me, that he's got a bit of rust. He's not quite with it. He doesn't know what he's doing. Because I've been physical. I've been working hard doing my thing, and I've still been keeping that image real in my mind and keeping alive, literally in my my character, my moves, the whole world of where I would start, how I would finish, how far I will go, hasn't left my mind.
Can you also equate that to sex?
Yes.
How long you'll go, when you're going to finish.
Except often there's a bit more disappointment.
Sometimes
it doesn't quite match up.
Sometimes you can't finish when you want to.
You can overshoot or undershoot. Or just not shoot at all.
You must be fucking excited to return.
I'm very excited and very blessed. Thank you very much.
That's
handshake.
Okay, man. Handshake
The
right
big
here.
handshake, there's a big there's a pause in the handshake. He's looking to the audience. Okay, no, it's just a normal handshake of respect and appreciation.
One thing that means something to me is because, we had talked a little bit about your time in backyard wrestling before this interview, and one thing that meant something to me is that I felt like, apart from AWL, because you were in charge of that, I felt like you had been underappreciated everywhere you've been. NSW, XCW, NAW. And I want to make sure that you get the appreciation that I think you deserve, because you've taken far too many crazy bumps. You've done way too much. You've founded your own federation. You've done quite a lot for backyard wrestling in Western Australia. And I want to make sure that this last year that we've got you, now we gotcha. I'm going to make sure that you look back and say, that last year, when I was in WZWA, that was the best time I ever had in backyard wrestling, and I was appreciated for my previous efforts and given a platform to do what I do best and be appreciated for it, and not be kicked to the curb like it seems you have been, even in XCW. All the other federations not really being given the platform that you deserve to be given.
Shucks, bro. That hits deep.
You needed to hear it, man.
I gotta
needed to say it.
I gotta get all the tears out of my heart and put it in my head and come up with words. All right. Oh man, thank you.
I feel you've been underappreciated by people, and you haven't been given the.
Maybe a little bit here and there, but half is just me not taking the initiative, and that's what I'm tired of. And now it's the point where
now you can end
now or
your
never,
story in the correct way.
Yeah, now or never, all or nothing, and I'm not going to settle for never and nothing. So,
Excellent.
Really happy, really thankful to receive the opportunity to do what I believe I do best and love to do more than anything else in the world.
Yeah, and
it's going to be a good year to do that with you lot.
And you've already thrown it out there, man. So, I'm going to try and get this podcast up before. I've got 2 others in the can. One with Just Michael, one with Chris the Horseman Rowe from XCW. But I'm going to get this one up before then, because those ones I need to throw in some actual video clips.
Might take a while to upload.
Yeah, but I'll get yours up before the next show. But you've already thrown it out there. You will be one of the people, or maybe just the only person, who knows, that will be accepting 3 Dogs Hardcore Invitational. The Ultra-Violent Maniac returns. Your thoughts on the potential match with Aaron? I know you've been studying some of his matches.
I have been watching him, the scrupulous hawk. I have a hawk. That's the one. Been watching from afar, more like an owl, like Illuminati style, just like you, my friend. And I gotta say, he looks like he's gonna be challenging. He's gonna be tiring, because he's got a lot of weight and a lot of muscle in there. It's gonna be. I'm gonna have to pull out a lot of moves, probably from high above, to keep him down. I'm excited about that.
Well, your matches with Acid Rain, he's a bigger boy. And these were some of your finest moments, so maybe this is lightning in a bottle a second time. We'll see how it goes, but I'm very excided because Aaron has been a staple for hardcore wrestling.
I'm very excited to get a staple in Aaron. Wait, no, no, I don't do staples. I don't play like that. But there is going to be a shitload of shit going down.
And I can't wait, dude. And
including,
it's brilliant.
Well, not Aaron, because Aaron's cool. I'm sure he's a cool dude. I haven't met him yet.
He's a funny
sure,
dude.
I'm going to love him. But in terms of 3 Dog's going down with all the other shit that's going down.
He's going to put down the 3 Dog.
Bam.
Before we finish off, I'm going to ask.
I've actually got a unique challenge actually to make to Mr. 3 Dog, but I'm not even going to tell it to you. I'm not going to tell it to no one.
Good. I want to be surprised.
It's a secret. I'm just going to keep until the great reveal.
I'm going to finish this off with several generic questions before we head off into the sunset.
Sunsilk.
Sunsilk.
That's the shampoo I use.
Is it?
Yeah, that's how I get
I
this
use
hair.
the kind that helps you when you're balding.
Oh. What kind is that?
It smells like peppermint.
Ah.
And it tingles on your head when you put it on.
I don't like peppermint. It makes my nuts ache itchy.
Your favourite match you've ever had, if you could pick one.
Oh, favourite match ever. It would probably be. It's between two, and I really enjoyed them both. Just because I can remember them. Just because I have them on video. It's got to be between the one with Acid Rain and XCW.
Really? That could be possibly in your top two.
It was a fun match.
That's amazing that, like, how little time that you were in XCW that you could have one match there that could mean so much to you.
Yeah,
So
well,
that's fucking cool.
my experience with everyone else is probably equivalent to the amount of experience I've had with AWL.
Yeah.
You know, like, probably like a full year of solid wrestling all together everywhere else. So, with him, and that's on par with my match against Demise and Bruiser, even though I got fucked up. That was a brutal match. There was so many good spots.
Yeah, it was
could have
good.
been tied together, better pacing, better storytelling, better selling on Bruiser's part. That's just lousy showmanship.
I did notice people getting up very quickly after taking.
He just wanted to take hits. I literally had to. I remember because he wouldn't let me do anything. I remember literally had to pull him by the hand, hug him in like a gorilla grip, lift him up the air to my tips, and then just full on like belly to belly slam him.
That's a great belly to belly, by the way.
It was a real belly. That was a full real. He didn't jump. That was me like, no, you're coming, bitch. Like, it's not a matter of you letting me. This is happening. No, that was a good match. So it's got to be. I'm not going to choose one, but
between them two, that's pretty cool, man. I'm happy that we could have at least been a little bit a part of your time in backyard wrestling that you look back fondly of, because you weren't there that long, so that's pretty cool. Your favorite person that you worked with?
Oh. Like I said, Acid Rain, there was great chemistry with. In AWL, Ben Hopwood, just because he was so lanky and easy to throw around. And HPW, I think Matt Slate, him or Gus, they were tight to work with.
Oh, NSW, do you mean?
NSWA-e, yeah, sorry, yeah. NSWA-e, yeah, and
NAW, Acid Rain,
and then your guys fed, and it was a fun match with Homicide, even though it was very one way.
Yeah, cool, man.
But it would have to be between Acid Rain and Matt and Gus.
Cool, man.
It's
cool.
Hard to pick.
Yep. So, what would you consider your craziest hardcore spot?
Craziest hardcore spot besides going through a flaming table, or
if that is it, then that must be it. But I don't know if you do.
I don't know.
With barbed wire or thumbtacks
flipping from above the basketball rink on the actual wall, which is half a meter above the rink thing. That was the scariest. It was high because I'm seeing it from my head's perspective.
I don't even know how you got up there.
Yeah, from the ramp. Flipping from the ramp through the table on the outside on the gym floor. It was pretty hardcore. Probably the flaming table was brutal, just because of the
one with Biohazard.
Yeah, and that match in general, like spearing him into the fence, and most of the match was outside of the ring on all kinds of fucked up. So, yeah, I'd say that probably the swanton through the table, off the ramp.
Cool.
That was pretty brutal, pretty tame but brutal.
Do you prefer being a heel or a babyface? Did you ever really?
I wish I came up with a good comeback to that. Something really heely. Like, that's a stupid fucking question. Yeah, no. I think it's pretty obvious. When you play video games, who do you play? If you play Infamous, do you go the good way or do you go the evil way?
Well, the evil way is the most fun.
It's always the most rewarding, isn't it?
Isn't it ridiculous? Everyone always loves the bad guy.
Yeah. I like the heel. I don't know with the whole face thing. Like, I think I'd be somewhere in the middle, like Stone Cold, Punk. Even who else is just like a neutral badass that everyone loves? Brock Lesnar, even.
Yeah.
People like Brock Lesnar,
Even if he acts like an asshole, people still love him.
Yeah, even though he's not as vocal, I guess. But someone like Stone Cold, I'd be probably in the middle, like a likable bad guy. Would be me. Over with the crowd, but everyone actually hates me. Yeah.
We've got 2 more questions. I might actually do word association after this.
Just for kicks.
Just for,
why not?
Just for the fuck of it.
We're on a roll.
Is there something that you wish you could have accomplished in your time in backyard wrestling?
More time. I wish I could have accomplished more time. I'm 28 now. If there's anyone out there that wants to do backyard or any kind of wrestling, I don't give a fuck if it's in your backyard or in a ring in a fucking stadium. I don't care if there's anyone watching, if it's you by yourself. If you want to do it, do it. Because I wasted time.
And you want to make up for lost time?
Yeah.
Well, another question I had was, do you have any regrets? I guess your regrets are that you didn't...
didn't pick it up sooner and use that time.
Get back in. Yeah, I wish I could have got into contact with you quicker, but I couldn't figure out your fucking name.
It's all on my shoulders.
All I had was James.
Sound like I was a shit cunt back then anyway, so it's probably just as well. Otherwise, we might not even be here right now.
Exactly. What else was there? There was one more.
I hope they're swearing allowed on your podcast.
There's fuck yeah. I've said cunt. I've said.
Dude, don't say the C word.
I've never said the N word. That's the only one. But the C word.
Nutella. I love Nutella, man.
Nutella is the N word.
Apparently, niggas love Nutella too. I don't know.
Really? Okay, so when WZWA is all said and done and it's all over in a year's time, which will be March 13th, 2017, are you buying the ring?
Oh, the ring. If I am in the position to, which I intend to be, most certainly, yes.
Will that mean that there might be a AWL 2.0?
I don't know if that, or maybe bigger things.
Maybe a new federation with a new name.
Yeah, perhaps. I definitely have in mind wrestlers, storylines, the style of which it's all going to be shot. It might be a little bit different, but we will all come to see. But definitely, there's going to be. This isn't the end of me being in control of something great, except this time I'm just going to let it become great. And that means letting everyone have creative control.
Yeah.
But
cool, man.
The ring will be the start of that.
Excellent. Alright, well, I don't even know if I should do word association.
I do a word association for you.
Well, you don't have to. For me?
Yeah. Let's spin the tables right now. Let's start with that. Table.
Fucking... shit. Nick Ariel.
Chair.
Chair. Fucking hell. Antilochus, because I gave him a fall away slam through a chair once.
Ouch. Socks.
XCW. No, but word association, I'll say a name of a guy. You give me either a story, your thoughts on
it's going to be awkward, though, if you say, rattle off, 2, 3, 5 names. I'm like, next,
You won't know enough.
I'm so bad with names.
Dr. Chops.
Dr. Chops. Oh, KFC. Because he had a match where it was a gimmick match. It was McDonald's versus Hungry Jack's KFC, and he dressed up as the what do you call it? The white guy with the chicken.
Colonel.
The Colonel. And he made a bloody good Colonel Sanders. Mr. Chops did. Chicken Chops.
Sledge, Shane Haste.
Professional. He was. He always took it very seriously. And even then, so polished. High flyer, leg drop. Impressive. And wouldn't it surprise me if he goes big places?
Yeah, me too. Joker, aka Kyle.
Faggot. No. Just joking. He was actually a really, really cool guy. Joker, alright. Moonsault.
Yeah, I remember.
I had to check the F word right next to the N word somewhere. No, he does bloody good moonsaults. I remember one he did off the ladder on the grass. He was, one of those guys.
Bladeshaw.
Bladeshaw. Nerdy.
I
don't know. He struck me as nerdy.
He is nerdy. He loves anime. He loves League of Legends and World of Warcraft. He's
nerdy and good-willed. He's good-willed and good at taking TKOs.
Aston Crude.
Aston Crude, legend, cool cat, dedicated, committed, hardcore.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Homicide.
Homicide. Oh.
Is this starting to reach the back of your mind now?
Oh, Homicide. Shred. Rip, tear, crack. explosion. I remember one face actually when I ran into the match. First time he was facing me before the match began. I'm just making my entrance, and the camera goes on his face, and he just gives this reaction, like a mortified look, like, like I think he even crossed his heart or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that comes to mind when I think of it, because it makes perfect sense considering what followed.
I'll just finish up on a couple more. O Factor, Oliver.
Oh, Ollie O Factor. Oh, ladder smashing in his face. Good selling. Funny git. Yeah.
Bruiser.
Bruiser. Stiff. Uncooperative. Egotistical. Selfish. Yeah, that's just a few.
I can't remember any other guys' names in NHPW.
Full of potential and halfway there.
And lastly, Phoenix.
Dead. Born again. Yeah.
Sick, bro.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for being a part of the podcast, my friend.
Thank you, Mr. Crude, for having me.
No worries. And
Aston Crude. I dig that. I dig what you
Crude.
did there with Aston Crude.
Thank you.
All fancy, sophisticated, elegant Aston.
Yep.
Martin, mixed with the whole Crude.
Motley
Shabby.
Crue,
Rick Rude.
Yeah.
Aston Crude.
That's me, brother.
It's pretty cool.
And thank you very much for doing the podcast. It's been
thank you for having
really
me.
awesome to learn a little bit more about these backyard federations that I had very little to do with. So very interesting, and thank you very much.
Enjoy to share and enjoy to throw vibrations into your ear holes.
Exactly, and
Thank you.
Thank you for your contributions to Western Australian backyard wrestling, even though you may not be aware of how much you actually have done. I hope by the end of this interview you realise you have done quite a lot for backyard wrestling in this state.
I am mighty flattered. I'm not even finished yet.
Excellent.
Got at least one good year.
One good year
ahead.
left, man, so I'm really looking forward to it. So
Yeah,
thank you
likewise. And thank you for having me once again. Really am privileged.
Thank you.
Because you're an important guy in the role of the backyard world. And the backyard world is going to be a lot more important and recognized thanks to you. So
Thank you.
It's reciprocal.
I appreciate
Thank you.
that. Thank you.
Glad to be part of it.
Excellent. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. This was my interview with Phoenix Part 2. We've just hit an hour and a half for Part 2. Time flew by, and time flies by when you're having fun. So thank you again to Phoenix, and thank you to listening to the GBYWN Australia podcast. I'm Aston Crude, and I'll be with you next time. Thank